When building JavaScript projects, be it front-end or back-end, we tend to rely on third-party packages for multiple use cases. While it's highly unlikely, there might still be instances wherein you might not find a package that solves all your issues. So at times like these, you might want to consider building your own package which will work for your use case and potentially help others who have come across the same problem. In this video, we'll take a look at how to build an NPM package specifically for Node.js, and in the follow-up videos, we'll also take a look at how to create front-end libraries for React and Angular. Before even creating the actual package, you'll first need to create an NPM account. You just need to add your username, email address and password. I've already done this, so I'm not going to create an account again. After successfully registering, you'll get an email for verification purposes. So do that first because you won't be able to publish any package if you have not verified your email. Now before moving forward, you'll first need to log in through your NPM account. So just type npm login and it will ask for a few details. The first is username, so I'll just put in my username. Then you'll have to add your password. And the next thing is your email. Now that you have successfully logged in through your NPM account, the packages that you'll be publishing will be through this account. I'll just clear this. Now we'll actually move on to creating the package. So for this example, I'll be creating a very simple package in which I'm just exporting a few time zones and few country codes. So we'll quickly set up a Node.js project. So I'll create a directory first. To initialize a Node.js project, you will need npm init, and I'll pass in this y flag, which basically pre-populates the initial requirements. Once this is done, so now we have a package.json file here. Inside this, I have the name of this project, I have the version, I have a description for this project, I have the main entry point for this project. So index.js will be the entry point. There are these scripts that I can use to run my project. In this case, there's only a test script. I have keywords over here, which basically makes it easier for people to search this package in the npm store. The author key is the person who is going to be maintaining this package, and I also have a license here. So now once I have the package.json file, since the entry point is the index.js file, I'll also create one over here. Our package here is just going to return a set of time zones and country codes. So we'll first need those. I'll just copy them in a different file over here. So I'll have a time zones array, and I'll also have a country codes array. Here I'll just copy a list of country codes for all the countries. You can see there's a name, there's a code, and there's a phone code. For time zones, I'll also have a list of values. It's going to be very similar. It's just an array with different time zones for different locations. And in both of these files, I'm exporting the values. So in the first file, I'm exporting the country codes, and in the second file, I'm exporting the time zones. So I'll be able to use them in the index.js file. If I come back over here, I'll just import both of these files. Now the thing that I'll be exporting from here will be two functions. These two functions will basically return the time zones and country codes that I've imported from these two files. It's going to be very straightforward. So this is all that the functions are going to do. They'll just return the country codes and the time zones. And since I'm going to export these anyway, I'll just put them in the exports block. Okay, so now this is done. So basically our main package functionality is done. So anyone who needs to access these time zones or these country codes can access them using this package. So the only thing that's left now is to publish this package. Before publishing, we need to know the types of packages that we can publish on npm. So the first type that we commonly see is a scoped package. So anytime you see something like this, So that package name will start with an @ and then let's say this, for example, let's say Babel. Babel has a structure like this. It starts with an @ symbol, the main package name, or this is not actually the package name, this is called the scope of the package. Then there's a /, and then there's the actual package name. So this package is called a scoped package. And the other type that you'll commonly see is a package which doesn't really have anything like this at the beginning. So it's going to be a package with no scope. Take moment for example. Moment is just a string. So this is not a scoped package, this is an unscoped package. So there's a difference between these two. So for scoped packages, you normally pass in your username over here. The idea behind a scope package is that if you're trying to create a package which has a name that has already been occupied by some other package, you can just pass in this scope at the beginning, and normally the scope is supposed to be your username or your organization name. I'll not go into the organization aspect, but you can just put in your username here and it will automatically make your package unique. So there won't be any naming conflicts when you create scoped packages. And if you know that your package name is going to be unique by default, you don't have to worry about scopes then. You can just pass in the name as it is and it will create an unscoped package for you. Whenever you are creating a scoped package, by default it is set as private. So the package that you are creating with a scope will not be accessible to others by default. When you are publishing it to npm, you'll need to add a flag. You'll need to add this flag, access public. It will then make it public for everyone. This is not the case for unscoped packages. So anytime you publish an unscoped package, it will automatically be public. So anyone can access an unscoped package. We will actually try to create both of these. What I'll do is I'll just try to npm publish and see if it works. I get an error here saying that the package name is similar to an existing package. So this is what I was talking about. In case of unscoped packages, you'll have to create a unique name so that it won't clash with any other package name. So I'll just go back to my package.json file and I'll do something over here. I'll just add my username. It's still an unscoped package because only if you see something like this at the beginning. Now this is a scoped package. If I remove this, this is now an unscoped package. So I'll save this and now I'll try to publish it again. And yeah, it actually did work. As you can see here, I get this message saying that my package has been created. So now if I go back to npm, you'll see that this package is created over here. You can't really see anything inside this package because I didn't add a description or a readme file. If I want a description inside this package, I can pass it inside this key, or I can create a readme.md file inside the package directory. So this is an unscoped package. When I was trying to publish it, as you can see here, I didn't really pass any extra flag. The flag that we had discussed previously, the access public flag, I didn't really need to pass it because this is an unscoped package. Unscoped packages are public by default. Now what I'll do is I'll just remove this package.json file and I'll again try to create the package.json file, but this time I'll pass in a scope which will be my username. I could have just edited the name key from the package.json file, but I also wanted to show how to create a scoped package while initializing your npm project. You can just pass in the scope key here with your username during the initialization phase, and you'll get that scope added to your name in the package.json file. So now again I'll try to publish this. I'll not make any changes to the actual logic. I just wanted to show you that a scope package will not be published directly. It will need that access public flag. You will probably get an error. Yes, it says that you need to sign up for private packages and a payment is required. So if I go to npm and look at my packages here, there will be an option to add a private package somewhere. Yeah, add private packages. So if I click here, it normally asks for a payment method, because if you want to publish private packages, you'll need to have a subscription of some sort. As you can see here, to enable private publishing, you need to pay $7 every month. So this basically means that when publishing scoped packages, this scoped package, you'll need to add the access public flag, because by default it will consider the scoped package as a private package. So now I'll try to publish it, but with this access public flag. Now it should work. Okay, as you can see here, it has been published to npm. So I'll just go back to packages, and I need to wait for a few minutes because it takes time to publish to the store. Now if I go to this package, it essentially has the same content inside this package, but now it has a scope attached to it. Now I have two packages in my npm account. I can use any of these packages in a Node.js project. So we'll do that now. I'll just clear this. I've created this directory called Node.js package consumer. I first need to initialize a node project. So npm init. Now I'll be installing any one of my packages. So I'll just copy any one of these because essentially both of them are the same. So I can just copy any one of them. I'll just copy this and install it like I would install a typical third-party package. Once this is done, I'll create a server file over here, app.js. Now I can import both of my functions from the package. So just const. If I try to look for the functions that this package exports, I'll be able to find these two functions, get country codes and get time zones, that we are originally exporting from our package. So I'll just import both of them, and I'll just simply console log so now if I try to run this, I am getting undefined for both of these. Okay, so there must be a problem. So since these are named exports, I'll need to pass in the exact name inside my import. So I'll just replace this. The Z in this time zones key was lowercase and it was supposed to be uppercase, and same for country codes. So now if I replace this with country codes and time zones and save this. So once I've made the changes, now I have to republish this back to npm. So when I'm doing that, I'll need to make a few changes to my package.json first. Since this is a change in the package, now I'll need to update the package version. Now I'll try to publish it again. I actually had made a mistake over here, so I had to change the version from 1.0.1 to 1.0.2. Now I'll just go back to npm and see if my package has been updated, and you can see that the version now is 1.0.2. I'll just go back to my node application where I was using the package. I actually was using a different package, the one which didn't have a scope. I'll just install the scoped one. So I'll copy this and npm install this package. this package was the one which didn't have a scope. So now I have the scoped package as well with the version 1.0.2. Now I'll come back to app.js, and instead of using the unscoped package, I'll use the scoped one. I'll just replace this with a scope package. And now if I try to run this, I'll get the country codes as well as the time zones. So this basically means that our package is working as expected. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of how you'd normally publish an npm package to the npm store. I actually forgot to mention one more thing. If I go back to my package, now if I want to have a dependency inside my package, let's say for instance I don't want this time zones imported from my time zones object, from my time zones array inside this file. I'll instead have a third-party package, and in this case it would be moment time zones. So I'll install moment time zone here, and from moment time zone I'll import the time zones list. Moment time zone also has a list of time zones that it's exporting. So I'll just simply replace this with moment.tz.names. I'll need to import it first, so const. So this essentially will produce the same result. I'll still be getting the same set of time zones. So now that I've made a change to this package, I'll need to again publish it. So npm publish access public. It again gave me the same error that I cannot publish it with the same version. So I'll need to make changes to the version. Now I'll just add a 3 instead of 2. And I'll again publish it. Before publishing, I'll actually go back to npm, and inside this package, this is the package that we are changing. It's currently at 1.0.2, and you can see that there are no dependencies for this package. There are no dependencies or dev dependencies for this package. Now when I publish this, I'll see an extra dependency over here. So npm publish okay, so this is done. I'll come back to npm, I'll refresh this. Now there's one dependency here, and it should be moment time zone. Now if I come back to my node project, currently you can see that it's at 1.0.2, so I'll have to reinstall it. I'll just copy this, npm install. And now the version is set to 1.0.3, which is the latest version. So now this get time zones function will return the list of time zones from moment time zone and not the time zones array that we had created. So if I come back to my package, this is what we are returning now. So it will still produce the same result, so you won't see any difference. I'm actually getting an error here because the name of the variable that I had set was incorrect. So this should work. I'll just again publish this, set it to 1.0.4. This is done. I'll go back to my node project. I'll reinstall it. It will now be set to 1.0.4 here. Yep, this is done. Now if I try to run this, it should work. Yeah, so now it's working. So the array again is the same. It's just that this time it's coming from a dependency, which is moment time zone. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This is obviously a very simple example. You can build upon this, or you can create your own library with your own set of functionalities. but the basic idea behind publishing a package is going to be similar to this. So yeah, if you have any doubts, suggestions or queries, you can put them in the comments. And in the follow-up videos, we'll actually move on to React and Angular, wherein we'll be creating component libraries. So this is more of a backend library. This is for Node.js. You can even use this in a front-end application. But in the follow-up videos, we'll be sort of creating component libraries for React and Angular specifically. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one.